this horrible disease. And so in those first few weeks, we were all seeking wisdom. We were all trying to think through, what does all of this mean? What is the proper thing to do? None of us had faced any of this before. Despite how old my fellow elder Luke Pearson thinks I am, I wasn't around the Spanish flu. He thinks I was, but I wasn't. And so we weren't around back then, and this was a new, unique situation. And so what do? And certainly, you look around at other churches and you take some cues from people coming from other perspectives, but really it ends up being a decision that the elders of that particular congregation take. So why did we make the decisions we made? Well, let me tell you what decisions we made. We did not prohibit anyone from wearing masks if they wanted to, but we certainly did not demand that of anyone, and thankfully at the time, we had a sort of Republican governor who did not try to turn us into California. And so there wasn't a huge amount of pressure upon us in that particular aspect of things. And so we basically left it up to the people. If you want to wear a mask, that's perfectly fine with us. We certainly are not going to attack you for doing anything like that, but we are not going to make it something that's required. And of course the leadership wasn't. And I would say maybe at the height of things, 2% of our people might have worn a mask at some point or another. And then, of course, at the end of 2020, they started talking about the upcoming vaccines. And that led to a whole other area of discussion. But at that initial time, many churches shut down. The vast majority of churches in what we call the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, which is the 5th largest city in the United States. Most people don't know that. It is huge. The vast majority of churches shut down for at least a few weeks, if not a few months. There were just a handful of churches that did not, and we were one of them. We never missed a Sunday. Now, we almost missed a Sunday because we rent our facilities. We rent where we meet. And the church that we rent from closed down and said we couldn't use their facilities anymore. And some of you know all of the details and insurance and everything that goes into meeting almost anywhere. And so thankfully, Rich Pierce, the president of Alpha Omega Ministries, his church didn't shut down either. But they did not have Sunday evening services. And we meet at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so even though it meant meeting literally across the valley, that's where we met for about 2-3 months, as I recall, during that strictest lockdown period. We